Hello? Good afternoon. I'm Richard Fiedotin, and I have the great honor and privilege of being the chair of the board of the Jewish Community Federation and Endowment Fund in San Francisco. Thank you very much. I guess my mom is here. Today is a phenomenal day for our community. It's a day to celebrate the leaders, thinkers, and doers in our community who make the work at the Federation possible. It's about celebrating you and your commitment to the work and the mission of the Federation. As we support our community locally, nationally, and globally. So I want to welcome each and every one of you and to this event today. We're so glad that you've joined us. I want to acknowledge that Dr. Andy David, who is the Israeli Consul General serving the Pacific Northwest, is here with us today, and I want to thank him. And I want to thank him for being here, but also for the incredibly important and challenging work that he does and does so well. I'd also like to show my deep appreciation for the past leaders of the Federation who are here today. I've seen many of our past presidents and board members. There we go. Who have really provided an incredible vision over the years and been a source of tremendous inspiration. We're really encouraged by the example that you set, and we're very grateful to you for the work that you've done, and I just want to thank you. And special thanks, of course, go to Dana Corvin, and where Dana is, and to Nancy Baker-Fredkin, who are the phenomenal chairs of today's event, which I want to mention is sold out, which is fantastic. The applause there wasn't as enthusiastic as I expected. So to be frank, when people sell out, that's not good. But when an event sells out, that's great. So I just really want to thank them. I'd also like to thank Sterling Bank and Trust and the Seligman Family Foundation, who are the lead sponsors of the Day of Philanthropy. And BNY Mellon Wealth Management, who was the generous sponsor of this morning's tax and estate planning seminar. And along with them, I'd like to thank all of our other returning as well as new sponsors, without whom today would not be possible. So we're thrilled today to have as our keynote speaker Jeff Swartz, who is the former CEO of Timberland. He is a fascinating trailblazer. I don't know if you've had a chance to read some of the work he's done, and he is really a new thought leader in the world of philanthropy. He is always building and innovating. He's probably doing that as I say these words. And in doing all this, he's fused together the ethics of his Jewish faith with his belief in social and civic responsibility. And he's mixed all of that together with entrepreneurialism. So he's going to discuss today why tikkun olam, the Jewish concept of healing the world, is not only not at odds with business success, is actually part and parcel of it. At the Federation, we are convening our partners in order to build community and be a force for good in the world. We are investing in Jewish ideas and innovation, in organizations that are inspiring a connection to Jewish life, that are taking care of the vulnerable among us, that strengthen Israel and our relationship to her, and that generally make the world a more interesting, meaningful, and healthy place. And none of that would be possible without the tremendous leadership we have in this community. Today, we are going to honor three such leaders, who have left indelible marks on our community. David Friedman, Marilyn Waldman, and Sam Goldman. They are changing the world, starting with our Bay Area community, in ways that are both large and small. So I'd like to welcome our first honoree, who has received the Judith Chapman Memorial Women's Leadership Award, which is presented every year to an outstanding female leader in our community who has given of her time, energy, and resources. Marilyn has been a leader in many ways in many organizations, dealing with issues such as art and culture, Russian immigration, Israel, and others, as both a professional and a volunteer. She has truly shown up for us. And so I'd like to just say thank you, Marilyn. Congratulations.
Yeah. Don't worry, this is bold triple-spaced. Okay. I knew Judith Chapman through my work at Mount Zion, and I am so honored to receive this award in her name. To paraphrase Wilbur Wright, if I were giving a young person advice as to how he or she might succeed in life, I would say, pick out a good father and mother and begin life in Ohio. I was fortunate enough to be born and raised in Cleveland, and basically I'm a Midwestern gal all the way. My parents, Helen and Sam Marsh, were community-minded people. My father, a dentist, was president of our town's local Beechwood Boosters, and my brother told me this week that he made mouth guards for every player on the team the first year of the high school. Anyway, and my mother was president of the Fairmount Temple PTA. My parents were and continue to be my role models, and I hope they're filling up there. When I moved to San Francisco, married and settled on the peninsula, Phyllis Cook, who had been my pledge mother at AE-Phi at the University of Michigan, got me started in the Federation's Women's Division. She literally dragged me to a Women's Division luncheon, but I was glad I was there when I got there. Rosella Elkind, Phyllis Friedman, and Sally Gradinger became my new role models in civic and Jewish community engagement. And I knew these were the sort of women I wanted to hang around. Later, when I served on the board of Mount Zion Hospital, Rhoda Goldman and Bob Sinton showed me the way to be dedicated and at times courageous leaders. While on the Federation's board, Sissy Swig, Brian Lurie, Adele Corvin, and Ron Kaufman expanded my Jewish worldview. I loved all my role models, including my professional mentors, Naomi Lauder and Abby Snay. Naomi, by the way, fixed me up with my husband, and Marie and I have been married for 27 years. So there are secondary gains in this work. I've enjoyed working with CJM leadership, Connie Wolf, Lori Starr, and Joyce Linker, who got me involved with the museum. They've all inspired me enormously. A couple of months ago, Lynn Bunham called to tell me I had won this award. Since then, I've been thinking about what I might say today, and I've been thinking about what motivates people to become involved in Jewish community and philanthropy. I actually have wondered if the satisfaction that is derived from helping others is simply a universal human trait. I thought back to my childhood to see what motivates me personally. When I was about 9 years old, at the height of the polio epidemic, the older kids on our block organized the Shoal Road Carnival, raising money for patients at Cleveland's Rainbow Children's Hospital which treated kids stricken with polio. Together, we made booze, pitching penny, fish pond, ring toss, and we baked cookies and cupcakes to sell. We asked the local police to close off our little street the day of the carnival. I think we raised $89 for the hospital that day in 1948. It was exhilarating, and we continued the carnival for a few years. I loved the whole enterprise, the work, the fun, our parents' praise, getting our photo in the newspaper, but mostly creating something worthwhile that meets a need. And I enjoyed that we had measurable success. I just felt good about myself and my team, and I basically have been doing the same thing over and over my whole life, creating projects, sometimes more sophisticated than the Show World Carnival, in different settings. And I have felt immensely rewarded. The dual interests, civic and Jewish, seem to enrich each other. Perhaps my civic interest comes from living on an Army base for 4 years in World War II after my dad enlisted in the Army. And on the other side, having grown up in the shadow of the Holocaust, I think partially explains my deep passion for Jewish survival and Jewish quality of life issues. Along the way, I learned that, as Woody Allen claimed to have said, 90% is just showing up, and that persistence pays off, and that the people who are like-minded in helping others make for the very best friends, which I'm sure everyone in this room knows well. I thank my husband, Murray, for his constant support, and our entire family, who are enthusiastically taking up the mantle of perpetuating Jewish life. Thank you for the reward. I would have done it anyway, but the recognition is beyond sweet. Thank you. And now, will you join me in the Hamotzi? B'tei Avon.